Hello everyone. Last part of the TeruShouEnnoTana vacation is here. Let's get into it, shall we? As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons, members, and all of you who still watch my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the uploads, and check out the members only posts with Confession and Jealousy series. The days flew by, much faster than Suguru would like. Once the weather stabilized and allowed them to go outside, they've spent time doing all sorts of activities, from snowball fights to board games, and suddenly he realized they were on the last day of their vacation. It was a bittersweet realization. Sure, he knew nothing lasted forever, and the important thing was they rested and made new memories. But at the same time, he wished they could stay like this for just a little longer. Here, where no worries could reach them, and where it was just the four of them enjoying the time spent together. At least he was about to be reunited with his things soon, as he agreed with the company to hand over his luggage after getting picked up on the way to the train station. But that was only of a little comfort to him. Why are all good things always over so quickly? With a deep sigh, he carefully swung his legs in the pool, his hands clenched on the edge to save him from falling in with the motion. He wished he could enjoy the pool just as much as his boyfriends had. But alas, this was all he managed. It frustrated him to no end, but he couldn't possibly bother Tanaka or Terushima again to help him. Besides, he wasn't sure if even their help would do anything against the panic growing within him anytime he just about glanced into the deep water. It's fine. We did plenty of stuff together during the week. It's not like they miss me. And yet, no matter how many times he repeated that to himself, he found himself on edge, literally and figuratively. Torn between the urge to try swimming again and the fright of what if. He gripped tighter on the edge of the pool, taking a few shattered breaths to chase away the wave of nausea that washed over him along with the memories he tried so desperately to forget. Maybe even if he went swimming with no one around, some invisible force might try to pull him under, finish what his past started. What of it that his loved ones wouldn't hurt him like that? His breath hitched when he heard a low whistle behind his back, but then relaxed almost immediately upon recognizing Tanaka coming in, swim trunks on and a towel over his shoulder. I thought you went to sleep already. Not yet. I wanted to stay here for a while longer. Humming, Tanaka tossed the towel over one of the wooden sunbeds before approaching him, leaning down to kiss the top of his head. I get that. I wanted to do some last-minute swimming too. It's kinda sad we are leaving tomorrow, huh? Yeah. But hey, I think we had a great time, right? Beside that lost luggage. Suguru smiled, completely in agreement. Right. That's the most important, isn't it? You got it. But I'm going to miss this place, not gonna lie. It's not every day you get to wake up and jump into a pool or sauna. He glanced wishfully at the pool before stretching his neck and jumping right in, and Suguru flinched when the water hit him in the face. Tanaka gave him an apologetic smile once his head re-emerged from under the water, returning to him in just 2 strokes. Sorry, I didn't mean to soak you. It's fine, it just surprised me. He wiped the water away, forcing himself to stay where he was instead of backing away from the pool. It was just a few drops, not like Tanaka shoved his head under the water. Nothing to panic about, right? He let out a long breath, giving Tanaka a small, reassuring nod once he noticed the worry making its way to his face. It's fine. Okay, good. He hesitated for a beat as if thinking about something, and then leaned against Suguru's thighs, looking up at him with hope in his eyes. "Wanna join me?" Suguru froze, his heartbeat speeding up just imagining going into the water with someone else also present. He bit hard on his tongue to not cry out, but couldn't stop the tiny whine. His fingers once again clenched tightly on the pool edge. Gentle stroke on his thigh granted him somewhat, turning his focus back to Tanaka. "Shh, it's okay, no pressure. If you don't want to undress, you can go in with your clothes on, I won't tell." He knew. Considering everything, Tanaka was the last person who would snitch broken rules. However, while he was grateful Tanaka respected his boundary despite seeing the state of his body before, it wasn't the only thing holding him back. He looked away, tempted to grip onto Tanaka's arm for support. "It's not just that. I know it's just a pool. I know you wouldn't hurt me, but..." The rest of the sentence got caught in his throat, but he didn't need to continue for Tanaka to understand. Sorrow clear in his eyes, Tanaka hummed quietly and took hold of his hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. "And if I promise I'll hold you up?" It was tempting, and even without knowing Tanaka would never lie to him, just the way he looked up at him now left Suguru no space for doubts that his boyfriend would first drown before letting his head touch the water. It was so sweet, so lovely of him to offer, just to make sure he was comfortable. And yet, with one more look into the deep water, he let out a shuddered breath and shook his head. "I'm sorry." In the back of his mind, a voice sounded, telling him to prepare for an angry response, maybe getting pulled into the pool regardless of his wish. But that voice was forced to stay away by the gentle smile on Tanaka's lips and a kiss on his palm. "It's okay, no need to force yourself. Though, since you are here, would you time me a few laps? I wanna see if I got better over the week." "Sure." He carefully pulled himself up to get his phone and turn on the underwater lights, settling back on the edge just as Tanaka took his place by the side. "Ready?" "Yep, start it." He watched Tanaka swim back and forth, mesmerized by how smoothly his boyfriend glided through the water, and the sight of his muscles working overtime to get him to the other end as quickly as possible. It was in moments like this when he was reminded how much he loved Tanaka's physique, no longer feeling any threat from the trained arms. The strong grip was no longer meant to harm, but to protect instead. What was it? 1 minute and 12 seconds. You're like a dolphin. More like a whale based on the time. But hey, still good. Despite his words, he was beaming with pride, and Suguru had no reason to object that the time was actually really good for an untrained swimmer. He watched Tanaka swim around for a little longer, perhaps to cool off a bit, before he laid floating on his back, letting out a content sigh. Maybe I should get a pool membership when we get home. This is awesome. That sounds like a good idea. Right? Even if it's just once a week or something, to just chill a little. Not that I don't want to chill home with you, but, you know. I understand. He bit on his lip, a sudden urge to slip into the pool after all growing in his chest. Maybe he could take Tanaka up on his promise of help. Maybe if he had Tanaka's arms around him, it wouldn't be so scary. Maybe... Taking a deep breath to give himself the courage needed, he pushed himself up with perhaps a little more force than necessary. However, he had to act quickly before his mind could freeze him again. The moment he tried standing up though, his foot slipped from under him, Dull pain shot through his shin, and then his yelp got swallowed by water. The moment his head sunk, he was lost. Top, bottom, up or down, nothing felt right. It was just water, dragging him under and filling his mouth and nose. Memories crashed into him. The cruel grin, the icy cold chill seeping into his muscles and bones. The hands holding him under, forcing him to hold his breath until his lungs burned and beyond. His body felt heavy, yet his movements were frantic, and the water still didn't light up. Something crept around his waist, and then he was hauled up, gasping and coughing, but torn out of the water's grasp. He clung to the warm mass holding him above the surface, only slowly coming to. It's okay. Shh, settle down. I've got you. He gripped onto that voice, clung onto the broad shoulders keeping him afloat, his breaths heaving to get rid of the water before it could swallow him again. The arm around him tightened, strong and secure, while a warm, calloused hand cradled his face. It's okay, you are safe, I promise. Hold on to me, okay? Everything is fine. He pushed the wet hair from Suguru's eyes, finally freeing his vision. It's alright. Thank you. He coughed, stomach acids rising into his throat as his body violently rejected the salty water from his lungs. Shivers ran through his whole body despite the warmth seeping from Tanaka, making his teeth clatter. Did you swallow a lot? I couldn't see anything and... Shh, I know. Just take a deep breath, it's okay. He did as he was told, the urge to cough and vomit slowly retreating, leaving his throat burning and just aching. Can you? He motioned weakly where he believed the pool edge was, hoping Tanaka would understand. He tightened his grip as Tanaka moved, but the arm around his waist stayed strong, giving him the needed support. Careful on your feet. Thank you. For nothing. Take it slow, step by step. Painfully slow, Suguru carefully climbed up the ladder with a little help and support from Tanaka, wincing whenever he put more weight on his left leg. Tanaka stabilized him before he could stumble on the last step, a worried crease appearing on his forehead. Did you get hurt? I hit my shin, but it's fine. He froze, another realization hitting him. I think I dropped my phone. Before he could rush back to the pool, Tanaka wrapped his arms around him again to stop him and instead turned him towards the sunbed. I'll get it, go sit down. True to his word, he dove right back, reemerging just a few seconds later with the phone in hand, much to Suguru's sunken heart. Is it? I'll take a look. Don't worry about it now, okay? He gently steered Suguru to sit down this time. Suguru no less than slumped on the sunbed, nodding in thanks when Tanaka draped a large towel over his shoulders and huddled him deep into the fabric. A short kiss landed on his forehead before Tanaka ran off somewhere, leaving him trembling but at least warm. He pulled the towel closer to him, the faint scent of Tanaka's body wash settling down his still racing heart, while the pressure suddenly building behind his eyes was quickly becoming unbearable. Shh, it's okay. You're safe now, I promise. He swallowed a sob when Tanaka knelt down in front of him, rubbing his arms just like always when he wanted to warm him up. Are you dizzy? Or feel like throwing up? Shaking his head, he curled deeper into the towel, clinging to the comfort Tanaka's scent and the warmth always brought him. It earned him a gentle smile, compassionate even, before Tanaka's attention shifted to his leg.
Can I take a look? It's probably not serious, but better safe than sorry.
Suguru followed his gaze, finding his shin scraped and bleeding a little, and just nodded jerkily. A shiver ran through his leg when Tanaka's fingers brushed over his calf, just as gentle as ever. He focused on settling his breathing instead of looking under Tanaka's hands, somewhat disappointed when the touch eventually disappeared.
Alright, that should do it.
Thank you.
No need. I'm just glad you're okay.
He shifted a little before leaning on Suguru's thighs again.
But tell me if you start feeling sick. Your lungs already got damaged enough for one lifetime.
Damaged? Wasn't that the case for his whole being? Okay.
Good.
They stayed in silence for a moment or two, the only sounds being the low hum of the filtration system and Suguru's deep breaths. His thoughts raced though, urging him to huddle deeper into the towel for comfort and hold onto the comforting weight of Tanaka's body against his legs, the hand drawing small patterns into his thighs, sending jolts through his skin. It wasn't unpleasant in any way. Yet the reminder of things that could be if he just wasn't damaged stung deep within his soul. Before he could go down the spiral again though, Tanaka's soft smile stopped him, making him tilt his head in a silent question.
Oh, nothing. Just a thought.
About what?
Kinda misplaced right now, I guess. But even with all the mishaps, being here with you all the whole week makes me realize how lucky I got in life.
Suguru paused, melting a little inside. Really?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we are a bit closer here than we would maybe like sometimes, but seeing you three smile and enjoy yourself, it's so beautiful and heartwarming.
He reached up, a smile Suguru could only call mesmerized, curling his lips as he caressed his cheek.
It reminds me how glad I am I fell for you.
He spoke with such certainty, yet Suguru found his shoulders slumping despite knowing he should feel happy. You still don't have any regrets about asking me? Gentle hand cradled his face, making him look up.
Not a single one. I've actually thought about it yesterday. About why and how I love you because it's still so new to me.
He pursed his lips, just like always when he thought about something, and then settled comfortably with his head laid on Suguru's thighs, the gentle smile back on his lips.
I love you, truly, but it's so different for each of you, especially with you. It's not more, or God forbid less than Chika and Yuji, but it's so different I can't describe it.
But it's still a good feeling, right?
The best.
Taking hold of Suguru's hand, he pressed another kiss to his palm before he sat up straight.
I just want to take you in my arms and kiss you all over until there's not a single millimeter of your skin that wasn't kissed. You have no idea how much I'm looking forward to when I'll be able to do that.
You might have to wait for a long time.
So what? I can be patient when it counts.
He laid his head back on his thighs, looking up at him with so much love, so much devotion it stole Suguru's breath, as if he was the only thing in the universe, a treasure worth fighting for and keep around.
You're so beautiful.
Slowly, he reached his hand up, removing the last wet hair from Suguru's forehead.
Even all drenched.
Even with all the scars? A sorrowful smile curled Tanaka's lips.
Those change nothing. Though I would be much happier if they weren't made in the first place.
That makes two of us. He didn't say a word out loud, yet somehow he was sure Tanaka understood him anyway. He didn't move, just caressed his thigh again, an emotion much more soothing than Suguru would ever expect. It was all strange, but in a good way. It stole his breath and footing alike, but what waited for him wasn't a fall or pain or fear. Rather, a thought persisted, that maybe this was what being truly loved felt like. That this was what he searched for so long, right in front of him, just waiting to be recognized and accepted. A short reach of hand close, and so far away at the same time. In somewhat of a dream, he did just that, brushing his fingers along the sharp lines of Tanaka's face and earning a soft smile.
We should go to sleep, huh? A long day tomorrow.
Right. I love you too. But instead of the words, only a desperate sigh left his mouth, leaving him frustrated at his own inability to speak his feelings out loud. It wasn't a lie. It wasn't a half-truth. He loved Tanaka. He loved Terushima and Enoshita too, more than anything. And yet he couldn't bring himself to say it straight up like them, despite it being so easy in the past. A kiss landed on his forehead before he was carefully tucked up on his feet.
I know, don't worry. Come on, let's go to bed.
Countryside rushed behind the large windows of the train just like a week ago, though the moment tasted much more bittersweet. Suguru couldn't help but sigh whenever he turned his phone in his hands, which, no matter what they did with it, refused to turn on anymore. At least his luggage was now stored where he could see it at all times. The relief he felt over discovery that nothing got lost or damaged over the week being a small plaster on his troubled mind. Maybe they'll at least be able to save your storage somehow. Suguru sighed again, forcing himself to put the phone down. I have everything packed up just in case. It's not about that. I was looking to buy a new one soon anyway. I didn't want it to die like this. He was being silly mourning a phone, he knew that. But this one was a gift from his sister, the first one he had after he got out of the hospital and could start living again. And now it was gone, but unlike his luggage, he couldn't recover it. How about we get you the new one? He looked up, surprised, meeting Terushima's eyes. You don't have to. You didn't break it. I can buy it myself. It's not an issue.
We know that now. But maybe it could be a belated New Year's present. What do you say? And don't say you don't need any gifts.
Suguru fell silent, since that was exactly what he wanted to say, lowering his eyes. I don't want you to bother with buying me things. Bother? Oh, please. You know how nice it is to buy you stuff? Nice? Yeah. I mean, not the purchase itself, but knowing how excited you always get makes it so worth it. He reached over the aisle to capture Suguru's hands, turning him so that they were face to face. And besides, wouldn't it make it a little special too? Suguru paused, glancing at Tanaka and Enoshita, who both seemed to agree with the sentiment. And in the end, he couldn't dispute it either. Every gift he got over the 2 years they've been together held a special place in his heart, no matter the size, price, or material. And maybe it was a sign as well. A sign that things changed. That his home was now with 3 of the most amazing people he knew. So, what do you think? He looked up again, his heart skipping a beat before pumping warmth only being with his loved ones could cause through his body. Alright, thank you. Perfect. We could go shopping over the weekend if you want. Shouldn't it be a surprise? You want to guess with this? Yeah, probably not. There you go. Weekend sounds good. Terushima grinned at him, leaving a kiss on his cheek before he settled back into his seat, sighing like a big cat getting comfortable. Despite looking forward to being home after they got off the train, and even more to picking up Tori from her vacation home at Kumiko's, there was tension growing in his chest with every minute they got closer to their house. He couldn't pinpoint why, couldn't point at what was making him shake his knee the whole way, couldn't stop it. Eventually, it got so bad his boyfriends noticed as well, apparently worrying them enough for Tanaka to lay his hand on his knee to stop the constant motion. What's wrong? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'll stop. It's fine, don't worry about it. Is something making you anxious? I suppose. But I don't know why, it's just a weird feeling. He clenched his hand on the safety belt, his other hand squeezing Terushima's to find some anchor to calm down. The familiar touch and warm words of reassurance worked miracles on his mind, though he couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't right.
Maybe you're just sad the vacation is over and it's showing like this?
Maybe. He hesitated even as the car came to a halt in their driveway, only reluctantly getting out, his hand clenched around the luggage handle the moment Tanaka handed it to him. Unlike before though, his touch didn't help this time, no matter how much he clung to him, earning himself a consoling smile.
It's okay. Just take a deep breath. Everything is fine.
Then why does it? The rest of the sentence froze on his tongue, a panicked yelp leaving his mouth instead as he backed away from the door where, in a snowy nest, lay a small package bound by a golden ribbon. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. So, last part of the vacation mini arc is behind us, and from now on it's just going to rush forward, or not rush forward, but the story is going to start picking up again, and I'm hoping I will finally be able to finish what I have planned for this whole Dashio arc. So I hope you are looking forward to that, because it's going to be a ride. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!